Great, great, great.
Yesterday was a sparring day as well, right?
No, yesterday was off.
Oh yeah, yesterday was off. That's right. So, leading into some of the questions that we were jumping in yesterday, last earlier today, uh,
Uh-huh.
um, we were talking about Devin Haney and his situation. Do you think that fight
Uh-huh.
with you and Shakur and Haney will ever happen? Still, do you think it's still possible?
I hope so. I don't, know how long he's going to be out or what's going to happen with him, but everything I wish him the best, so we can make that fight happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, what do you think about uh the Haney's not wanting the rematch?
Well, me, I can only talk about me if I was in his situation, I would definitely want the rematch, man, particularly if I felt that he had a advantage and we were going to fight and that advantage wasn't going to be there. I would definitely want it. Now, I don't see why he doesn't want it, you know what I mean? It's not like, that fight was as close as he thought and he said, We know that the fight really was bad for him, and I really hope after a fight like this here, he can successfully continue his career.
Mm.
That's how bad the fight was to me. I don't know. A lot of people may have stopped it, you know what I'm saying? Particularly if that was their son.
If that was Shakur that night, would have you stopped it?
Yeah, particularly because if things like that was happening to Shakur, I would know something is wrong. Something is wrong, You never look at the fact that maybe he overtrained or whatever, because from day one his reactions weren't there. A couple of those punches you see that he's seen them coming and he braced his face for the impact. You know what I'm saying? So that's a clear sign that he could have overtrained. I know it didn't look like all his faculties were up to point. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't making any adjustments. See, and another sign a lot of people don't realize when your heart rate gets up to 115 beats per minute, you start to lose those fine motor skills. You understand? So
Mm.
now it depends on how hard he worked, and when he got in there, started working again, his heart rate could have went up extremely high, or as well, he could have been on something to make his heart rate go up that high, where he wasn't reacting like that. But this is one thing: people once the heart rate gets that high, the heart beats that fast, you think they can hear you, think they listen, you tell them, work, 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 work. They can't hear you.
Right.
Right.
So you,
That's yeah.
yeah. So you felt like, that motivation tip that Bill was giving him, he just wasn't able to, retain that information.
Well, like I said, it could have been to you, like I said. Maybe, I don't know whether his heart was racing like that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I know once the heart rate gets above that 115 beats per minute, you lose those fine motor skills, the ability to react, the ability to hear, and the ability to comprehend. So, there's a lot of factors. Maybe, I'm just hypothetically speaking. Maybe he could have had something to make his heart rate go up. You never know. I don't know.
Coach, I know that
Mm.
you look at sparring differently than a lot of other coaches. You found these
Uh,
guys at a young age, so you got to
mm,
preserve them. What do you think about
right.
doghouse rules?
Th-
I
That's
never
just what
asked you that.
that's just what they are. Doghouse rules. They for the doghouse, not for the boxing ring. That's a thing to show that you're in there. Wanting to be tough. You could take a punch and slug it out till one person quit. That's not boxing. You know what I'm saying? And that's not the sport of boxing, should I say. Boxing is a sport. And then so it should be treated like a sport, not like a dog fight.
Do you feel like
Those young people's lives, man, in there.
Do you do you feel like that could ruin a fighter at an early age?
Oh, definitely, definitely, definitely. There's a lot of bad things gonna come from the worst thing of all, sparring syndrome. Guys get used to sparring rather than going in there fighting intellectually. He just looks like he's sparring all the time. That's what you see with a lot of guys that spar too much, and don't particularly work on things. It does happen so often, and those blows in the head, man. Particularly the type of fighters that would stand there, go hard guard, and let a guy punch on them. That's like softening up a piece of meat. So it does affect you, particularly the athletes that have started boxing at an early age. The accumulations of punches actually put you in the NFL, boxing not for long. So it's really detrimental that you stay away from that type of sparring because I think it was about maybe 5, 6 years ago, the Surgeon General said that actually after training camp, a guy throws a training camp, he needs at least a week just to recover before he fight. You see, this is why football players take off a week for all the pounding and wear and tear that they put on their body. That the body actually needs that. We don't do that. We go right from training camp to the weigh-in, and the next day we fighting. So it's not a real recovery period. So now you taking all those punches and over and over and over again. Where's the recovery? And then you got to fight. So
Have
no,
you
I don't condone that.
have you seen in your career of being a coach, as far as kids in the gym taking punches throughout their career, but then at one point in time, their chin just completely softens up, like what you were saying as far as the
Mhm.
beating of the meat, softening it.
Mhm.
Like, have you seen that
Right,
to a point that someone took so much damage to a point that now their recovery time
right,
is kind of they don't have it as much. What would
right.
you have to say about that? Because like I don't want to think like I'm throwing shade, but I want people to
Mhm.
understand because I'm a boxing coach too, so I look at
Mhm.
this a little differently. I see his
Mhm.
recovery time is bad. Do you think that has
Right,
to do with
right.
maybe stuff like that, like the doghouse rule stuff and
Well, it could do a lot of things. See, when you train in it, essentially you want to perform at your highest impact. So when you get in there, if you're not doing things that's sustainable or that's going to have your performance sustained throughout your performance, then no, it's not going to work for you. No, definitely not. So, like you say, athlete gets in a ring and he can box on hit this for 12 rounds and hit this here for 5 more rounds, 17, 16 rounds. Then he get in the ring and can't box 10 rounds. Why is that? Because what he's doing is not sustaining his training or his performance level that he's putting out, his output. So if you're not doing the things that's going to help you sustain that energy, and the most important part is what you said, the recovery. If you're not doing the things that's going to have your body recover within that minute, then it's not good. Particularly when you're doing that doghouse fight, because you don't get your body to and your heart rate used to really going up and down, so it's really just burning out. And the heart has to be going up and down because once I said the heart rate gets so high and it's beating so fast, all it takes is a punch in the chest, man, to stop your heart. A lot
hmm
of people don't realize they they do it moves because now inside USA Boxing they doing a lot of things realizing that they are actually putting that athlete in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying? Because it only takes one little touch in the right place to stop the rhythmic beat within the heart. You know what I'm saying? So now he can't breathe as big heart rate. He can't hear because he cannot breathe because his body is concentrating on breathing. So I don't think a lot of those things are really necessary because that the around brain to stop it from hitting the side of your head, which is concussions. So this is why you see a lot of amateur fighters never make it to the pros because the time they get to the pros and they take that MRI and they have so much white on the brain, seeing the impact from the brain hitting the skull so much they don't allow them to turn pro.
There it is.
Yeah.
So that being said, what do you what's your belief in the combat league?
Well, which combat league you talking about? You have quite a few now.
The one that Dewey Cooper is the president of.
The MMA or the
No,
boxing combat league.
the boxing combat league.
I I think it's wonderful. Give a lot of athletes an opportunity to make money, to make a living, and that's the most important thing. So many athletes have to struggle and work and do a lot of things where they can't concentrate on boxing only. So now, when you have the combat league, the overtime and all other things, the red, whatever it is, you have those things
Red
out here.
Owl.
Yeah, the athletes are able to eat now, on a regular basis, not month to month, not every 6 months or whatever it is. So I think it's great. I think the more boxing, because boxing is the one sport that goes all year round, and it's the one sport that keeps our athletes off the street the majority of the time. That's why I love it so much, 'cause I've coached the baseball and martial arts and all that other stuff. And you do have kids that die in the streets at time when they're not competing and whatnot. So the one thing about boxing and the camaraderie, you love it. And we all get in boxing. Boxing has exceeded almost all racial boundaries. And I think it's one of the best sports in the world to bring an athlete in because there's so many people that you meet in boxing that are worldly people. You can learn so much, particularly in boxing.
Mm. So, going off of that fight that we were talking about earlier with, Shakur and Devin, now with
Uh-huh.
the negotiations coming forward, you think that they will be easier to be made now?
Well, let me tell you like this here. I'm gonna give you my hypothesis, right? You figure if guys were cherry picking then, some people, I won't mention no names, a lot of people that, if they hadn't been recipients of titles without fighting, they may have never gotten one. So I know now it'll give a chance for no. I'm going to use Devin. Not saying Devin is the person, but use him for example. Now Devin has an opportunity to fight to prove that he's the best fighter in the world. He didn't have to prove it now. Now he has to prove it. So this is a great opportunity for him. It's not how a man goes down, it's how he gets back up that really determines his character. So we're gonna see how much character he has. Like I said, this is the perfect opportunity for him to step up and hey, don't talk about it, be about it. Right? He put
Yeah.
himself in a situation. This will be that. This will be. Hey, you couldn't have wrote a better script than this. The man go down. Okay, now he got all the reason in the world to prove that he's best. He's taking on all comers. Now, hey, I got a chip on my shoulder. If you take that attitude and do it, hey, and he does it, then hey, he'll have success. But if you don't take that attitude, nah, no, I don't think. I think it'll really be hard for him to come back without them cherry picking their opponents.
Mm. So, what would you have to say if you was in we'll put you in the situation, right? Say, you want to move up, you want to fight Devin, and
Uh-huh.
say, you're going for that title that he has,
Uh-huh.
and he decides not to make weight, you know, uh
Right.
does the same thing to what Ryan did to him.
Right.
What do you do as a coach? And he say
Well,
he
just
decides to give you 600,000 or whatever or
well
something,
let's 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 For this here, I'll use Devin and Shakur. Devin has always been bigger than Shakur,
Right.
because when Devin was with me on the team, uh, Shakur was part Lexus Rocha, what's the name, my man? Evans, what's his name? Evan Sanchez. They from California. And, they couldn't do much with Shakur. So I put Devin in there with him. This between me and you, man. Put Devin in there, and man, they would take it out on Devin. You know Alexis Rocha, the
Yeah.
brothers fighting family. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a tough dude. Yeah, and hey, man, they was giving him that smoke. So Shakur was always boxing, bigger people than him, man. So I don't think it would affect him. You seen Shakur spar big babies, man. Shakur spar boots, Spartans, that size factor, never worried, he never thought about it because he's going to try to emulate himself every time, and each time he's in the ring, he's going to try to do what he do. He's going to try to be Shakur.
So you believe it wouldn't matter?
No, it wouldn't matter. Never did.
No, but say like they decide to not do it for the title and just to get that name, that the Shakur Stevenson name.
Yeah, a catch weight, man. Yo, I would love to see him do that. If he did that, I'd probably eat my hat.
Would you guys take it still?
Of course, we'll take it.
Because you guys have we guys are not too far when it comes to size. Pause. But like you guys, they're the same. They're the same size, kind of.
It's not the size, it's the skill, and it's a big, big, big gap there.
Mm. I remember the Bill Haney leaked interview, the leaked audio saying that the gap has gotten smaller over the years of sparring with each other. Do you
Between who?
between
Between
Devin?
Shakur and Devin?
Yeah.
Man, there's no. Listen, did you see Devin fight? Devin fight almost the same way he did as an amateur. Okay, and it's a lot of stuff that like there are levels in this here stuff. And I know for sure you can't be a jack of all trades and a master of none. And you look at Devin. Devin had some of everybody train him, right? Roy Jones and this here and all that. Well, when he gets in the ring, do you see any of that? You see Devin, right?
Hmm.
Because his foundation is there. The same foundation that he had, nothing changed. It's just like, hey, when you get a rat or something backed up in the corner, it's going to revert to the only thing that it knows, the thing that it's been doing, trying to survive. I
So.
mean, you look at the feet wide, legs wide open. Sometimes head out over his knees. You see his
Hmm.
hands not in position, pulling his hand up to his head instead of into his hands and all that crazy stuff. That's amateur stuff.
Yeah, I told Bill this on another podcast before too.
Uh-huh.
I told him that there is, when I look at the fundamentals and skills, there's a difference. There is a difference.
It's a big difference. It's a big difference because there is an amateur level and there is a professional level. And the professional level is the highest level that you can go. Remember, I told you about the amateurs are just like going to high school, college. Then you then you get to your specialties and what you. So now it's the same thing. When you have the kids that come in and don't never fight on that elite level or used to fighting on that elite level, where you are competing against the best people in the United States, right? Okay,
Mhm.
when you then you get a chance to know the levels, you will see the difference between professional and the higher levels, or say the amateur and the higher levels of boxing. Now you can always assume and put yourself and just declare that you've done that, but you know inside yourself that you've never done that.
Mm.
That's the reality. You can't like they always say, you can't play and you can't fake boxing. No, you can't.
Do you believe that skills is the reason why Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney, not the steroids?
I know for a fact it is because if you look at it, Ryan done been in Canelo camp. He been in my man's camp now with Earl Spencer, old trainer Derek James. He's been in quality and quality coaches staff. Roy Jones was never a great defensive fighter. He couldn't teach him nothing about the defense. He couldn't teach him to emulate more Roy Jones as what he did when he was training with Roy Jones, try to move like Roy Jones. That didn't work for him. So what Devin always had to do with each coach he had to revert to that back to Devin because that's who he is.
Right.
You
Right.
know it takes consistency in this here. You know you can't be a jack of all trades and master none. You know you got to master some things in this art. And this here game, you got to master a lot of things to be successful in this here game.
So,
And
yep.
I got.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, no. What I was gonna say, boxing is just like anything, like in science. Every few years, everything get upgraded, man. The way you train, the performance training, the strength training, the cardio training, all those things are a real part of it, man.
100%. 100%.
Uh huh.
Do you do
And
you
good,
do you see
good,
moving do you see moving forward? Like, obviously we got other champions here. Subir Matias, Teofimo Lopez. Now after this, do you feel like, he's going from Sandal Martin? I hear that's just mandatory.
right,
After that,
right,
you got Antoine Russell that's on his neck as
right,
well.
right.
What do you
Well,
see the path?
only one we never boxed in terms of, and have seen him not just Matias, but everybody else we boxed already, from then at 140, then at 154 on down, I mean, you gonna see Shakur, ain't no joke, man. See, like I said, the weight doesn't matter, the height doesn't, vary. You know, he's done seen a lot of boxing around the world, a lot of people, all different high times. I told you one time, man, when the whole Russia was stepping on his toe and whatnot, man, and after the fight, he took his shoe off. His shoe was black, purple, and blue, man, from the whole tournament, man, because they just trying to slow him down and trying to keep him in front of him, man. They couldn't do it. And that was a result of how bad they wanted to beat him, man. Stepping on, and the referees would allow it abroad. So, we had to fight through all that hitting after the bell, the slinging and throwing you down and all that kind of stuff. So we got a lot of rough, rugged fighting, man. And the amateurs, people don't realize. They think when you go out here to these here countries, you have exactly maybe like 60 countries. So with 10 weight classes, that's 600 people. Okay, so you got about like 60 people per weight class, and you got to fight through that. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna see every kind of style, length, size, doesn't matter, man. Some of the biggest people I seen was internationally, man. And hey, they come in all sizes, shapes, and forms, and all styles, man. So he's been adept at fighting some of everybody, big, small, wide, tall. I think he wouldn't have a problem with it.
Do you we have obviously some fights coming up as well.
Uh,
What do you think about Frank Martin and Tank Davis?
I can't wait to see that fight.
Yeah. This,
No,
if
well,
this fight with you guys in July, it means something when it comes down to that fight as well with Tank, I believe. Hmm. As far as the fight with Frank Martin and Tank, why you want to see the fight?
this is about a big fight for Tank. You know what I'm saying? Leo Santa Cruz and all those little guys. This is a mediocre fight, man. But this is one guy fight that Frank. Right now, he act like he not scared of Tank. Which make it seem like it could be an interesting fight. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think I want to see who bark is is bigger than a bite.
Mm.
Yes, it's a good thing. So it gives you an opportunity to size up for somebody like me. Now, I'm not talking about for anybody else. Me, one of the reasons I want give me a chance to size up. See how far Tank has come from where he has been, and like I said, the levels on this his stuff. It shouldn't be a problem for Tank to win this fight. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to skill wise.
Do you think Frank Martin has enough to make it go the distance?
Well, you know what? If Frank got that dog in him, like you say, it should be a real good fight. It should go the distance. Pitbull went the distance with him.
True.
Don't he's Frank ain't Frank a little Rockwell? So so hey, he should. But talents wise, I like Calvin. I like Tank, man. See, the biggest thing out of all of this here, see, when you have young athletes, they got to realize the biggest thing is in life and being in life and living a life and living a nice, successful life. So, with the things that come after boxing, I don't want to see boxing get like rap. You know what I'm saying? Well, these guys are arguing with each other and shooting each other in the streets and whatnot. It's enough out here. It's enough fights for everybody. May not be enough opponents, but it's enough shows out here for everybody to fight and live. You know what I'm saying? So those things about the boxing, I don't like. I don't like the arguing. See, when you see a lot of group, you see, I love it seeing all these kids come up to the amateurs now and seeing them be successful, and they have been friends all their life. Now to this here point where we know it's still a sport. We should know that the best man gonna win. Okay, we should know whoever wins the fight deserve to win it because they know that they all put the hard work in. They watched each other's careers. You know what I mean? They know who each other are. It's like this guy don't know what he did with him every time he got in the ring with him. It's not like they don't know. So so when all the smoke and everything go, and gone, I'm just hope they can go back to being themselves again instead of getting out of character, getting out of line. Like, I've known Bill for a lot of years, I've never seen Bill like this, you know what I mean? You know, he was never like this before. And it's not the money because he had money, but it may be the limelight, maybe he wanting to live the life, that his son is living. I don't know. But I know the old Bill that I know didn't used to be like he is now.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just talking about just like his character?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Almost, it's good people. I almost called him Billy the Kid, man, because, you know, he was like reverting back to me. Bill used to be straight about business, no game, no plan. He used to be straight up, you know. Now, the Bill I know now with all the lies and all the stuff, and I don't know that Bill.
Yeah, it's getting to him, the cameras,
I
the
don't know
fame.
what it is, brother. Like I said, I can't. I don't want to say nothing bad. I hope he feel like anything I said wasn't bad about him, because I never want to kick a man when he down. You know what I'm saying?
And it goes to
I
show
don't
you.
do it. I don't
Yeah.
do that, huh?
It goes to show you, you and Calvin, you guys don't do that, Even the
No.
shots that he threw when we did our interview, and you
Uh,
know, it's just it goes to show you the type of person you are, and
well,
it leads into your fighters.
see, the biggest thing is, see, a lot of people got to realize that they're doing this for life, for their families, and for them to have a life. And hopefully, through this, their families will be able to give their families a life. So now, when all is said and done, no matter who we are, we're going to still be who we really are. We're not going to be able to fight all the time and go out there and be the man all the time and whatnot. So now this is when your life comes back to reality. And we want to be judged on a lifestyle or our reality in life, on who we really are, as well as our accomplishments. Like the bad things in boxing, we don't want to condone that. We don't want to be a part of that. We got to always be an example for the youth and the athletes out here. So they have to hold those virtues true and never let them down. Everybody can get heated at the heat of the moment, get upset, but they all got to remember that tomorrow is always the answer for yesterday. What happened yesterday, you don't have to live with that the rest of your life. The next
Hmm.
day, you can make a difference, but do it the right way, not the wrong way.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, John Irvin, thank you for the $5. Yo, what's up, coach? I'm at up around the corner and I just started boxing. What's the best boxing gym in Indianapolis? I'm from the East Coast. John
From the
Irvin.
East Coast,
Yes.
Stevenson and Moses boxing for.
But he's do you know any gyms in Indianapolis? Now, coach, I believe I remember Shakur was involved with Snack at once upon a time, correct?
Mhm. Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the Snack program?
Well, the snack program, they pay you to wear their shirt. They pay you to wear their hat. They send you their products, but we never use them, to be honest,
Mm.
because we don't know. We never used shit like that before, and we not gonna take no chance. You know what I'm saying?
So like, do you think that goes by like with like a lot of these other fighters? Because it seems to me that that's what Ryan Garcia said the same thing too. They
Yeah,
pay
well,
you.
right. They pay you to wear because I think your body is your temple. You know what I mean? I really think it's really kind of foolish to put things in your body that you don't really know what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's dangerous. So, I don't condone on that. I mean, we've been blessed, to not have any injuries with our workouts our whole career. No cuts or no shit like that. This was our biggest injuries this last fight. And now I think Shakur, I think he really pushed it too hard, where he really worked so fucking hard, how he sustained the injury. So, you know, from now on, I tell him all the time that recovery is the most important part of your training. So he's starting to get back to himself where he's listening instead of trying to work so hard. Oh no, I'm going. Oh, I'm going. Pop up. You tell me my body is a machine. I'm no. Man, I gotta, back him off. And now, like I said, as he's getting older and what happened the last trip, you see that, his recovery is so much important to you, man. And I want to tell all the youths that, man, don't let nobody tell you not to drink water while you're training. Okay. That's one of the most important things. Water is like your lubricant for your body. It's your coolant, and your body need it because without your carbohydrates and electrolytes, without water, glycogen won't metabolize in your inside your muscle. That's the thing that give you that extra energy. So it takes all three of those so you to have sustainability in your performance. All right.
Now, you said that you don't know what's in the supplements, so you didn't take them. Is there like is there another reason why? Just obviously you not read it. You just think that some of the things that could possibly be popped are not on the label. Like what are the reasons why of just not taking the
Well,
the,
let me
the
tell you.
supplement?
See, this is one thing why I recommend, the amateur system for a lot of young, athletes and boxers that have the opportunity to get it and to stick with it because, you get a list and you find out general information about how many common products, the daily products that we use these days, and these steroids are in them, like toothpaste, cough medicine, and stuff like that. See, when you go to the system, you get a list of those things, and you really get a list of everybody that been banned on it, banned on it from the from the Olympic system, and some a lot of the professional athletes that have been banned around the world. So it gives you a lot of insight on how not to use them and what you should look for if you're going to lose them, because most of the products that are used have right on the label USADA approved. Now, if you take or choose to take a product that doesn't say USADA or Nevada approved on it, then you at risk. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So if those products don't have it on there, they can tell you what you want to tell you. That don't mean they're not in there. Because you can get it from. Did you hear somebody mention about the toothpaste? Yeah, you can get. It used to be in toothpaste. You can get it from toothpaste. Definitely, most of your cough syrups and what that you take, like you say, you in camp, you getting a cold and whatnot. You want to take some cough syrup or so and so and so. Man, you might get you test positive, bro.
Is also Victor Conte an influence of also why you're not taking the supplements?
Victor, big is an influence. Let me tell you something, bro. The one reason we don't take a lot of stuff other than vitamins and stuff like that, we never even done things like the glutamine for stuff for waybolic, to help your muscles heal after training. We never done that because we never did.
Mm.
I
What?
think one new thing we did use one time is like they allowed it in US. It's a little drink called a meal. You just squirt a few drops in your water. That's the only other thing we ever use.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
and
you
that's
know,
it's just nothing but electrolytes and carbohydrates.
Bill was speaking upon, people been asking him, hey, do the rematch. He said, how can we know it's going to be fair? Floyd Mayweather talks about Olympic style testing. What do you know about
Right.
Olympic style testing? And, for the fans to kind of get educated upon it a little bit.
It's pretty much the same thing, but you see, you get tested and your results are back a lot quicker. You know what I mean? It's much more strenuous. You almost go through it on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? So now when you get to that, they tested to see how whether it's been in your system, or they go to the hair follicles and test the root, because that would determine how long it's been in your system. You know what I'm saying? So he's probably referring to a lot of stuff like that they do, where they try to detect every way, any way that you can intake some kind of illegal substance in your body. So those things, I guess you would prefer that. But then again, a lot of them won't do that. They're gonna
Mm.
say it costs too much money. Number one, and they go, who's gonna pay for it? Number two, you know what I'm saying? Because you got TV and everybody pay for all that Olympic stuff. You know what I mean? Just one international show, a country or anybody want to do one, it's going to cost you a million or 1 million and $2. You have to provide TV and food for every nation and so forth, and everything that they can use and all that. Ah, man, for all the technical referees and the referees and all that shit is crazy. That's why abroad you see athletes stay amateur for so long, because they have the national tournaments out there, and you can win from $350,000 to 150,000.
Ooh.
Yeah, you set. So you have a lot of them amateurs staying there. Staying there for a long time. You had like four-time gold medalists, some guys, a couple of guys. It's my grandson Zay Quincy trying to call me. I'm trying to tell him I'm on the phone, man.
That was
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
my next question.
Uh,
He was going to also be one of my next questions as well.
uh-huh. Yeah, Zay,
But
that's my boy.
so
I got. Uh,
before that question, now that we're on that topic, Vada has what, USADA for the for the
mhm.
Olympic testing.
Right, right.
What could you tell us
And
about that versus the
well,
regular?
the, well, this is like they say. Don't use it.
That's for attention all boxers and athletes.
Right.
What?
All. And they tell you it should be on it. If it's not on there,
Now,
use it. And watch, like I said, watch out for your toothpaste, your cough syrup, and all of those things.
yeah, that's crazy. Now, I had another
Yeah.
question gearing up to the something that was more something. Either way, I'll get to that. But let's get back to Zay. Zay, what's going on with him? I thought he was going to turn pro this year. On this card in July. What's the updates?
Well, he been invited to the Olympic Training Center, so he's gonna go down there, go that route. Preferably, man, score, talk to him, and he want to turn pro. I want him just get a little bit more seasoning, and like he's gonna work extremely hard. And right now, man, he's a problem right now. But I want him to be a little bit more consistent. So he won't have any setbacks.
Okay.
He's ready to turn pro. Like he can go to root fighting, cherry picking, fighting opponents. He can beat nothing. No, we want to get him to the level where he has to be able to climb up the ladder. I want to put him on a fast track where the competition that he meets, that he can definitely beat him. You know what I'm saying? He's still kind of young. 19. What is he? 19 now? Yeah. So just don't want him to just rush him to do it just to turn pro. Just want to make sure he's ready to be pro.
Yeah. So
Other than that, yeah.
you're
I'm not
basic.
saying he's not ready now to get that because he's beating pros up now. I mean, there's one kid he was supposed to be this. We went Floyd Mayweather, man, and hey, they couldn't beat this kid up. He was supposed to be like 6-0, and man, they beat the stew out that kid, man.
Mm.
And that was last year.
Yeah, you talking about like you have a certain route that you want to take him. It seems like
Well, when
when he turns pro, as far as like
right, right.
debut, all
When
these
you
other
don't make
guys.
amateur mistakes, put it like that there. Or when you get all that amateur stuff out you, and being professional, you see, it's a mindset. You know what I'm saying? And
Absolutely.
the more you know that you a champ, like I always tell my kids, man, I say, how you feel, man? I feel all right, coach. And I say, how you feel, man? I tell them you feel like a champ. So when I ask them how they feel, every one of them tell me like a champ. That's what you're supposed to be. That's what you're supposed to feel like. What you training you training the like when you turn pro, or you turning pro to be a champ, or you turning pro to learn how to become a champ.
Mm,
So now, if you fighting at a championship caliber when you turn pro, then all you have to do is get better as a pro.
right. Yeah, you have to surround yourself with that type of training mechanism with that type
Right,
of you all the time. You 100%.
right.
Um.
Well, just say it like this here: if your circle don't motivate you, then you're not in a circle. You're in a box.
Mm,
So Like I said, when I ask these kids how you feel like a champ, every one of them feel like a champ. Every one of them gonna want to come in there and perform like a champ. You have a much more competitive gym, and you let them know, man, failure is not an option. And you let them know each one of them step in your gym. That's their legacy. That's their dream. That's their legacy. It belongs to them. All they got to do is go out there and get it.
You see you see Zay and Cormel fighting in the pros.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. I see Carmel, Lil Manny, all of them fighting in the pros. Manny and Bam.
What I mean by
Yeah.
like against each other. I mean,
No, well, I see them fighting everybody that's not on the team.
mm,
you know, we got a lot of guys, man. That's ready to turn pro in the next couple of years. Zaquan, Manny, Bam, Weezy is already pro. We got Giovanni coming out from Italy coming out. We got a kid Jackson Murray from Australia, 6'7" heavyweight. Yeah, they making a lot of noise.
yeah. Now, what do you think about as far as the Matias and Liam Paro fight June 15th?
It's gonna be a good fight. I want to see that fight. I want to see how good Liam Perro is. We know how good Matias is.
I mean, you guys sparred Liam Paro before. I mean, were you around for that
Uh,
for that work?
yes, yes, yes. He's all right. Like I said, who was that he just beat not too long ago?
Montana Love.
Yeah, 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 yeah. He's good. Like I said, it's nothing bad I could say about him, but Shakur can hit anybody at will. You know what I'm saying? But he's good. He's strong kid. He could take a punch and he fight back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your prediction
you
on that
know,
fight?
it's I don't know, man. Don't give me the line. I don't know, man. The kid is tough. And each time we paused him, he picked up a couple of things from us, man. I know he learned. So at the rate he is, if he keep learning like he'll be a problem too. He comes in shape, he got good fundamentals, got good balance, his hand speed is decent. The few flaws, thing that I say he got that basic stuff, answering the telephone and all that stuff, lifting his hands up to his head. Other than that, he's just like any. Where is he from?
Liam Paro,
Yeah,
Australia.
Australia. Yeah, that's where my man Jackson Murray is from. And Australia has some decent fighters, bro.
Yep.
They always did. Yeah.
Um, Now, as far as Matias is concerned, I talked to Shakur. He said he likes him.
Hmm.
Some people, guys like Teddy Atlas, one of their favorite fighters, he call it a throwback fighter. What do you think about him?
He's good. He's good. He's straight up. He's able to fight through his flaws. Definitely. You know what I'm saying in terms of getting hit, taking a punch, punching back. You know, and he's staying in the game. I only see him getting better. He got the right coaching.
Yeah,
I
you.
haven't seen him.
What
I
do you think
haven't
about
seen him
Panda?
about who?
What do you think about Panda?
Panda,
Yeah, his coach.
the coach.
Yep.
he the one. He the one lost $250 betting on Ryan Garcia against Shakur.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Ooh, I gotta talk to Panda about that one. Tell me
yeah,
more.
yeah, yeah.
Tell me
Well,
more.
like I said, I know,
I thought he
huh?
worked with Shakur and Devin, and
Who?
the Panda.
He just thought he was what?
I thought he worked with Shakur and Devin in the I think we're in the Olympic Training Center.
No, he ain't never worked with. He worked with Danny Gonzalez, but he was around with us, man.
He was
But he
around you
never
guys.
worked with them. Yeah,
Yeah.
He worked with Dan. No, he worked with Danny Gonzalez when Danny was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do
No,
you
but no, he ain't never done nothing like that. He ain't never met them guys, man.
okay. Okay.
Huh?
Yeah, I was just I know that he's been around you guys.
Yeah, he was on the team. He was one of the he was one of the coaches because Panda went with us to did he go with us to Ukraine? Yeah, he went with us to Ukraine. He went with us to Italy. That was on the same trip though. From Ukraine to Italy. What else? I know Danny had got into Danny got killed or something. Danny didn't get a chance to make his run. But yeah, he's on the team. Well, he was one of the coaches, yeah. Because he came with Danny Gonzalez.
So how do you think Matias, in your eyes, at 140, with all those champions, where do you rank him, like, among these guys? You got Teal,
How many
Pitbull, that.
fights? Oh, Matias is I put Matias above a couple of those guys, man. I like his style. I like his fortitude. I like how he comes to fight. And in a little some ways he remind me of Salvador Sanchez.
Mm,
In terms of way he take a punch or come straight in and willing to let it go.
mm. You ever see that fight ever happening, Shakur and Matias?
Listen, let me tell you this here right now. Shakur is fighting for his legacy. And whoever is in his way, they got to go.
Mm,
It's not like Shakur, I don't think he's gonna get but so tall. He's not gonna grow any taller. And so big anyway, without getting out of shape or gaining a lot of unnecessary weight or nothing like that there. We don't know how these guys gonna grow, but I know down the line, Shakur is gonna be willing to fight anybody and everybody that's in his way. Ain't no doubt about it.
yeah, I could see that being a big fight in New York one day.
Yeah.
If
Boricua, Boricua.
Boricua,
Yeah. Mm.
you know it,
Yeah.
coach. You know it. That'll be dope in New
Yeah.
York City. And
Yeah.
Xander might have to take the co-main event spot for that one.
Yeah. I like that kid too.
Xander's fighting this weekend, man. He is good.
Yeah. I like him. He's a good kid. He's not only just a good fighter, he's a good person, man. I
Absolutely.
really like him, man. Very mannerable, man. I like him, man.
Were you able to see the 5-on-5 this weekend?
Yeah, yeah, I watched it. I watched it.
What's your favorite fights?
Right. Which of one of those is my favorite fight?
Yeah,
You
favorite
know,
out of them.
I was watching Ray.
So talk to me. Let's break that down. What you think about Ray?
In terms of what?
All right, let's
His
go.
performance?
All right, let's go with. Did they make the right decision? Do you think that they made the right decision, the judges?
No. Well, I think the fight was close. Should have, if anything, could have been a draw, or Ray should have won it, if anything. But I don't think the decision. He just won his title 3 months ago. I don't think it was a good decision overall for him to take the fight and go in another country and put judging a fight in their hands. I think that was a bad look. I don't know how much money he got, but if he didn't get him over $1 million, it wasn't worth it. Because of whatever he got there, he could have got here fighting. I know once you win a world championship, they want to pay the lower levels less money, but you got the right to negotiate your fight. And if his contract didn't say once you won a title that he wasn't going to get at least $100,000 a round or something like that, then that didn't make no sense. Because once he the champ, he had the bargaining power. He had the right to negotiate his money.
Mm. So
Yeah.
that, yeah, so you think that that kind of went all wrong, just the negotiation part of it?
Negotiation. Did you see a rematch clause in there?
No,
Did you hear anything about a rematch clause?
no.
So do you think? So do you think the negotiation went well?
I hear you.
No, right?
I've been telling. And you know what's crazy, coach, is he was
Mm,
complaining about the weight the last fight too.
right, right. Well,
Like you're
I can
giving
tell you
hints
one
to
thing.
Eddie.
Yeah, this was definitely going to be his last fight at that weight. You know what I'm saying? So either way, so he probably been giving the belt up and moving on up. Because it was really hard the last fight for him to make the weight. So it was hard as well this time for him to make the weight. And then
Now,
another thing, getting adjusted to the time zone. They
mm,
never thought about that. You know what I'm saying? And everything else. So it's all out of whack, man.
they came late. They came the week of.
Even if you come the week of, don't mean your body gonna get used to get used to getting the proper rest that you're gonna get. So your body really adjusts to that time zone. And a lot of times you'll find out, like when you go from the East Coast to West Coast, you know how your body get have to adjust to the time zone back and forth. It's all out of whack. You be all tired. So you never know, man. This was the first time for him, probably traveling internationally, and it was a long plane ride, all of those things come into factor, man. And particularly the biggest thing is, you know, I don't know how long, what's the shortest amount of time that you win your title and the shortest amount of time you lose it. But, I look at all kind of shit like that. Not saying worried about losing the title, but damn, you just had it 3 months. You're gonna have a mandatory in 6 months.
You know when you said that, I kind of forgot about that too. When you said 3 months, I'm like, damn, it really has only been 3 months.
Yeah, who does that? let, let me sit on it for a little while and shine it up a little bit, and then you go fight your mandatory. See, it's like Now, I'm just hypothetically speaking, and I'm intellectually speaking, not talking about, oh, you don't want to take the risk to do this here thing, but some things really need to make sense all the way around before you just jump into it. Like you're a world champ. Okay. It's all right to be confident, but this is business. It's just like you're a fighter. You said you don't expect to get your hand broke or your leg broke, but you'll sign up for Lloyd's for London for insurance while you're in that ring. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna make sure. So that's the same thing as a security blanket. It's not just no fear. "Oh, I ain't worried about this losing to this here guy. It thing makes sense. You can't change it. What if the judges take the fight from you? You can't determine what they do. You only can count on your ability. You can't count on them. So you make a decision that's going to protect you inside that ring. Okay, if I lose, a rematch, the most common thing. You going out of your country and you fighting Hosen, you supposed to demand a rematch in there.
Yeah,
Like those things, those are the little things that, I didn't agree with about the fight, you know what I'm saying? Other than that,
game plan, the way they went about it.
yeah, that's it too, man. I always say, man, if a person keep catching, then you keep pitching. If you're gonna stand there with your hands up over here in the high guard, I'm gonna keep hitting you. But I know when I finish hitting you, I ain't gonna be there for you to hit me. So you giving away rounds, giving away points, letting them soften you up for the kill.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? A lot
yeah,
of that
but
stuff
yeah.
don't make sense to me. That, especially business wise, man. Let me sit on my title for a minute. Let me fight my first mandatory. And if something like this ever presents itself, I'm still a champ. I can go ahead and take it down the line.
Now, you
Yes,
tell me.
huh?
You tell me, was it a good way? Because he went with you guys for this training camp again.
No, 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 no. He was training with Teray,
Oh,
one of my other grandsons.
yep.
He was training with him.
Oh, okay. So
Uh,
just sparring with Core.
I don't even see. I wasn't here. I was only like here what 1 week when he was here,
Mm.
and he didn't spark core while I was here.
Yeah, because I was
And
wondering again.
matter of fact, Shakur didn't come back into the gym till I got back because he had been in the gym, and he said he took gonna take 2 weeks off before he start the camp.
Hmm.
So he wasn't here. So I don't know who he was sparring with.
Damn, man, you would think he would just be with his coach, his original coaches, right?
Duh, that's hey, that's what I would assume. I don't know why they weren't down here, but they this I don't know, man. Don't get me the line. I don't know,
Right.
bro.
No, I hear you on that. Now, Wilder, like, you think he should hang him up? You think people are talking about him possibly being overrated? What do you think about it?
No, he wasn't overrated. He had a fan base. He had a right to a fan base. I think he overachieved. I mean, he achieved more than motherfucking people been boxing all their life, man. He got in boxing late. Know who done something like he did? You remember Al Ice Cold?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Al Cold?
Did he get a bronze medal? And
Yeah, yeah. I won the Golden Glove. Just started boxing the Army, won the Golden Gloves, and went on became Olympian and went on became a world champion. Okay. Hey, that's what Deontay did, man. No amateur boxing experience. And look, through that with just the amateurs, 19 years old, we started, they say, right? He went and beat everybody and became an Olympian. Then he became a world champion and never boxed at all. You got to give him that credit, man.
hmm
See, you can't take that away from him because he represented the USA in the Olympics, meaning he was the best individual in his weight class in the Olympics. That's an accomplishment, particularly for all those people who have been doing it all their life and they didn't beat him.
So
Yeah, you got to give him credit, man.
now, Zilly Zhang, he trains out in Jersey. What do you
Yeah,
think about him going at it with Joshua? They fought in the Olympics back in the day. What do you think? What do you think about
right.
this fight?
It'll be a good fight. The thing about Deontay, everybody know he has no defense. You know what I'm saying? And in terms of ring generalship, Joshua is a much better fighter. I think he have a much better chance at beating Zane than Deontay did.
hmm
I like his chances much better because he has much more movement. You know what I mean? He has much more boxing experience. You know what I'm saying? So I like his chances much better because I'm pretty sure, he just won't be poking that jab at him, poking his hand out there. He'll be throwing some punches at him. And like I said, I don't know how athletic or Dane doesn't look like he's that fast and can't move that fast. So he can. I think he can be outboxed.
Mm, yeah, I agree. Now, my last question: Ryan Garcia and Shakur were sharing Twitter Spaces. Shakur would love to have that fight. What do you think about a fight with Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia? And how heavy would you guys go up to make that fight happen at a catch weight of possibly 143 pounds?
Oh, that would be great. That would be great at 143 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So, Shakur, look, just say for instance, right? if he had beat us in the amateurs, right? We'd have been calling him out. To score that fighter, yo, that guy beat me. I want him. I want him. I'm gonna show he can't beat me. That's how it is. I'm gonna tell you right now.
So you
And the fight, it was, as be honest with you, Shakur is like a maybe 10, 20 times better fighter than he was back then. But the fight wasn't even close, bro.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't even close. How close did you think it would be if your mother called me and asked you to help her son out? Which I was glad to do because he's not like that. Like I said, his mother was a very nice person, a very respectable referee, and she's the type of mom that any kid would want, man, because she's gonna go out there and push her son to do the best he can be. You know what I mean? She really pushed her son, and like I said, all the time that I had seen Ryan, I had never seen the father. You know what I'm saying? So, if he been part of it, I commend him too. But like when I always seen Ryan out, his mom was pushing him out there, out forward, out front.
that's awesome, man. That's good to hear that you guys will go up to 143 pounds just to make the fight. I mean, Shakur wants the big fights and the titles, so this falls in that line in that category.
He wants his legacy. And the fight is just in the way. We don't want who's in the way.
Right.
Shakur ain't never ducked nobody, man. You find more people ducking him than him ducking anyone.
Mm. What do you think about William Cepeda?
Him too. We want him too. You know what? That last guy he fought, what was the guy he fought?
Maxie Hughes.
Yeah, I think Oscar paid him, man. Because his previous fight, the kid boxed, moved around, used the jab, used the ring, and everything. So when he fought Zepeda, he just stood there. So after the fight, Oscar said, "Shakur, what do you think about Zepeda now? You still want to fight him?" Shakur said, "Yeah, but why didn't that guy box like him? Why did Oscar say that after the fight? I give you another 100,000 if you just stand there and fight him toe to toe." Did you see the way his previous fight, how he boxed
Yeah, he
and
moved
used the
around.
ring? Did you see how he stood right in front of Zepeda? That
So
fight, he
you
just
believe
stood there.
so you believe it had nothing to do with Predator's punch volume and pressure. It had to do with Maxie Hughes not
Man,
moving.
he just stood right in front of him the whole fight. Am
Mm.
I right or wrong? Huh? Did he use any movement in that fight? And a
No,
jab
but
and
no, but also I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt of being in there with a big pressure.
that he stopped him from moving?
Did he stop him from?
It's more likely. Let me ask you this here. We know he was moving when he wasn't getting a hit in his last fight, right?
Hmm.
He was using his movement, right?
Hmm.
So you tell me what's logical. Moving and you ain't getting hit, or getting hit and you moving.
No,
You
no,
move because
of
you
course.
get hit.
But styles make fights. You know that.
Right. So he gonna
And
change the style?
no, but this guy has a bigger reach. He's a bigger guy. He's a pressure fighter. I don't know if it's that specimen that's making the fight look like that versus Maxie Hughes that's
Nah,
possibly
man.
taking one hundred and
Hey,
fifty thousand
listen,
dollars
listen.
for a dive.
Go watch that fight again and
I
see
got
how much this guy. Watch that fight again and see how this guy was standing there walking straight in. Didn't use none of that movement. He looked like a whole completely different fighter.
you. No, I hear you.
You know?
No, I hear you. I mean, look, Malik Hawkins. I mean, he looked different upon everybody until he fought Matias.
Right.
Pressure fighter. That's
Well,
big size.
well,
Pause.
you gotta look. Matias stand right there in front too. He comes straight ahead.
Mhm.
So, the more you stand in the line of fire, the more likely you're going to get hit. That's if you don't have the defense or can avoid getting hit. You know what I'm saying? So when you see fights like that, you actually get a chance to tell how really the guy defense is, how really the opponent's offense is, vice versa. So fights like that, you really want to see because those are the true story. Because when the shit hit the really fan, you're going to see the best of that individual.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
when you stand in front of somebody, you're going to see the best of any individual because they're going to be just like the punching bag right in front of them.
Yeah.
So when you stand in front of anybody, you're going to get their best because they don't have to look for you.
Mhm.
You'll be just like the punching bag.
Yeah. Now you. That's a good take. Definitely.
Mhm.
Well, Coach, man, I definitely appreciate you for tapping in and finishing the interview with me today, man. Definitely gave a whole bunch of great gems.
Yeah, man, I really felt bad and then you not being able to catch up to me, man. But I was really going, trying to handle some business, get in camp, handle some street at home with my lawyers, my accountants, and everything else. So, it was a little rough then. And the best time was when I got to camp because I got a chance to settle down. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to do all that running around that I have to do at home.
No, no, I
Okay,
definitely
so
understand.
thanks for being patient with me, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. Can't wait to see you in July.
You got it, bro. We go out and eat together, man. All right.
All right, sounds good. I can't wait for that.
All right,
Blessings,
my
man.
brother.
Blessings. See you soon.
You too. All right. Thank you.
You got it. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, it's your boy Milson the Boxing, home of that high level pro boxing media. Fighters channel, the trainers channel, the people's channel. I'm gonna let you guys enjoy this interview. I'll leave it out there for the people. My last interview earlier with Wale, I put it on for the members only. So for this one, I'll let you guys enjoy this for the rest of the night. But I am getting tired, and we'll definitely get back to you guys tomorrow at 12 p.m. All right. Blessings. Oh, wait a minute. Damn. I'm supposed to send this to Rashidi Ellis because let me he sparred Subir Matias, and I wanted to get his outlook on what he thought about Matias. So let's see if he's available. Oh man, did I freeze? Yes, I did. Probably just do it tomorrow if he can't jump on today. But I sent it to him anyway, just in case. But hold on, let me get a. Okay, what we got here? Mill City Boxing. What's going on? The ill will. Appreciate you guys for tapping in with me tonight too, man. For real. Shakur never faced anyone on Devin's level. Nah. LA ain't going nowhere. You can't erase that loss. You guys are going crazy in the war room, I see. Um, but nevertheless, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm getting a little tired, and we'll get you that interview with Rashidi tomorrow, talking about his experience with Subria Matias, sparring him, and get his thoughts on the Liam Paro fight as well. God bless, and on to the next, guys. Like I said, I'm getting tired. DC underscore dude. Appreciate you. Appreciate each and every single one of y'all, man. But guys, if you guys want to become a member of Mill City Boxing, the link is in the bio as well. Support the channel on another level. If you guys like content just like this, make sure you guys go out your way, subscribe to the channel so we can always improve the visibility of the show, and obviously subscribe. You know, but blessings, and get back to you tomorrow. One.